Like most things in life, people are looking for some magic formula, a magic tablet to lose weight, a magic tablet to ride faster or run faster. Well, nutrition does make a huge difference, but there is no magic. My name is John Hampshire. I'm a cycling and running coach. Claire and I work with cyclists and runners of all levels all over the world using internet-based tools. So if you're a beginner, that's no problem. We can help you get started and build your fitness. And if you're an elite athlete like Jenny Graham, who broke the world record for cycling around the world, or Karen Dark, who is Paralympic champion, we can work with you as well, providing support in mental skills, optimised nutrition and lifestyle organisation. Most of the people we work with are endurance athletes with exciting and challenging goals, and we'd love to work with you. I post a video every Tuesday on what I consider to be quite interesting topics, and I'd love it if you got involved and commented. So please, as you're watching this video, please think about how you could contribute and help the community and develop a strong community where we all learn from each other. So the first thing to do is think about the calories that you need. How many calories do you need? And I've got the spreadsheet. You can download a copy of the spreadsheet and then adjust it for yourself. It's based on a book by Anita Bean. It's quite a good book. Anita Bean's books are really good. They're really readable. And the number of calories you need to fuel yourself day to day can be split into how many calories you need to live, like your base metabolic rate plus your activity level, and also your training, which add on top. And a lot of the modern tools like Garmin or Wahoo or Training Peaks give you an estimate of how many calories you're using. If you put the numbers in, like your male, female, what you weigh, how active you are, you get an idea of how many calories you need day to day. And then you can either use the table to say how many hours cycling you do, how many hours running you do, how fast it is and things like that. And then you get a total of how many calories you do from your exercise. And that gives you your total calorific requirement per day. And also you'll see from the table it gives some rough idea of the requirements for vitamins and minerals. But remember that some people absorb vitamins and minerals differently, and as a consequence the recommended daily amounts might not be applicable to you. So it's always worth, particularly if you're going to take supplementation, it's always worth having a blood test to make sure you actually need these supplements before you start filling your body with things that you don't need and actually could be potentially dangerous. So you've got your baseline level of calories, and the baseline values for protein, fat and carbohydrate are a bit different. So protein is dependent on what you weigh, body weight. You need so much per kilogram of body weight. Usually say 1.2 to 1.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. If you eat more than the recommended amount, more than you need of protein, it doesn't really help. If you don't eat enough protein, then I've found personally, and other people I know and work with have also found that not enough protein makes a big difference to your energy levels and your performance levels. I often start with protein after I've got the calories right. You need more as you get older. In fact, nowadays it's been shown that you can eat a bit more. So being up to sort of 1.8 grams per kilogram of protein can work pretty well for you. So you might want to adjust the spreadsheet in that way. And then once you've got the protein requirements, the other stuff sort of works itself out. For exercise, it's the carbs that are important. So you need to fuel yourself with carbs, particularly if you're going at a higher intensity. And you really should be aiming for a minimum of 30 grams of carbohydrates per hour of activity, and more if you're in a higher intensity event, 90 to 100 grams of carbohydrate. If you can absorb it, you train and practice to be able to absorb that amount of carbohydrates, it's worth taking. The more carbs you eat, the better the performance in general. If you're doing an ultra distance event, you're really trying to get enough calories in to fuel your activity. And if you're getting enough calories to fuel your activity levels, unless you're just eating olive oil or fat, then you're going to be getting enough carbohydrates because you're going to be eating so much. So you've then got your calorific needs, how much protein you need, carbohydrates and fats sort of take care of themselves. So the focus should be to eat a balanced diet. And one thing is that, particularly if you're a small female, but probably for most people, it's better to calculate your daily requirements by taking your weekly requirements and dividing it by 7 than it is to try and juggle things day by day and adjust your intake. Obviously, you're going to eat more if you're doing a long training session because you're going to be eating during the training session. So you shouldn't just reduce the amount in your meals during the days. But apart from that, it's better to roughly split it as the week divided by 7. Because if your basic requirements say only 1,000 calories, you can see in the chart, if you say like my colleague Claire, she only weighs 45 kilos. She got off mostly a desk job because she's coaching all the time. So if you remove her activity levels, her sport from the equation, she only needs 1,377 calories per day, which isn't very much if you're used to eating a lot more on other days. And also remember, in your days that you're not doing much exercise, if you're not doing much training on certain days, that's the time that your body's adapting. So it needs calories to make that adaptation. Whereas if she splits her activity levels day to day. Say she does 12 hours a week of running. That means her daily requirements are over 3,000 calories a day. And you might find that surprising that somebody with only 45 kilos requires all that energy. But they're the numbers, and that's the way it works. And it's really important to make sure you are eating enough to avoid what's known as RED-S now, relative energy deficit in sport, because the consequences of that are really serious. And you don't have to be underweight or skinny to be in energy deficit, to not be eating enough. It can happen to anybody. It's not fueling properly, and this can lead to problems with your bones and all sorts of injuries. You're more likely to get injured. You're more likely to get ill. You're less likely to get fit, which is really important. So make sure you eat a healthy diet. Make sure you eat enough, and use the chart to get the numbers if you want to. I'll put a link in the description so that you can download the chart. I hope this is helpful. Please let me know what you think about it so we can have a conversation. And like and subscribe if you liked it and found it useful. And if you want to discuss nutrition specifically, we've got a one-off 1 hour consultation with no commitment either way, based on your dietary requirements. And we've got a 30% offer running until the end of August. So if you want to take advantage of that, follow the link in the description. And I'll see you next time. Have a great week. Bye.